Alright guys, welcome back to Sensei and the People. Got People Cray here and Sensei Paul.
Hey, what the fuck?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be reviewing Delicious in a Dungeon.
You fucked up, Paul.
I did.
That was a cue.
I didn't.
But it's a 24 episode anime on Netflix. It's a I call it a fun anime, a fun adventure anime.
A funime?
Funimation?
Ooh, dude, we're on sync
Whoa!
today.
Should I leave? Should I get out of the room real quick?
Yeah, we're on sync today. You're not.
But basically, it's an anime. It's about a group of adventurers. To start out the anime, they are in a dungeon, exploring the dungeon, trying to make it to the bottom of the dungeon. We'll go into why later on. But while they're in this dungeon, the party gets attacked, and I messed that up because I didn't explain the characters. But the party gets attacked, and then the sister of the main character zaps the party out of there. At least the ones that are alive.
Somehow. I have a little gripe about that.
Okay, dude. Let me finish. It zaps the rest of the party out of there. Sacrifices herself, basically, so that way the rest of the party, the alive ones,
right,
can be saved. And that's when we meet what, Laos, Chilchuck, and Marcel. So after they get zapped out, they're like, "Oh, we gotta save her," you know?
Right.
Of course.
Yeah. So
actually, not everyone says that.
Oh, the cool guys in the party say that.
Yeah.
There are a couple people like
naysayers,
Namori and Shuro, who abandon hope.
Apparently, a Japanese man in this Japanese anime.
Yes, there's one Japanese man. Yeah.
So
Eastern.
Laos, Chilchuck, and Marcel, they decide, hey, we're gonna go back and save your sister, dude.
Right.
Fallon. So they go back in. They meet a dwarf named Senshi, and they don't have any material or food going back into the dungeon. They just go in with what's on their bag, basically, and they have to find a way to survive.
Which I appreciate.
Nice, thank you. And their way to survive is say, you know what, we're gonna have to eat these monsters that we kill in this dungeon because we're broke. So along the way, they're eating their first monster, and then that's when they run into Senshi. And come to find out, he's a dwarf, but he knows all about how to prep these monsters, and he's been eating these monsters
for quite some time. Yeah, for a while.
Dude,
like we're there.
We're about to.
Yeah, you have Senshi's beard, basically.
So,
if y'all just fusion dance, you'd be fat right now.
Okay,
that's okay.
So, this is the quest for them going down the dungeon, trying to save Fallon, their Laos' sister, and while just enjoying delicious meals in a dungeon.
Yeah. I thought you might do it. I didn't want to look stupid.
and then also, while saving their sister, they're kind of they give you stuff about the history behind the dungeon and what happens if you were to, I guess, defeat the dungeon, and what, I guess, basically just the history of it, and you kind of learn more of the history as they go down into the dungeon. So
I feel like there's more dungeons in the world, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. There's multiple dungeons.
There's just one dungeon in the whole world.
This actually, I think, is the biggest one, though. Or it's the newest and the biggest.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's not just like one big dungeon in the whole world. Everybody goes to.
In this world, if you don't kill the monsters in the dungeons every so often, they will come out and attack.
That's right.
And in this dungeon, the further down, the harder the monsters get. So this is just that quest, and let's get into why we like or hate this anime so much.
Yeah.
Guys, what was some of the redeeming qualities about this anime?
I mean, an obvious point would be, since the title says Delicious in Dungeons, and I thought it was funny that the whole reason why they lost the Red Dragon in the first place was because they were hungry. They even said that in the first episode, like, "Oh, we're out of supplies, we're out of food, we're so weak right now, and we haven't eaten nothing."
Yeah,
and that's pretty much the reason why they lost that fight.
Fair.
But the food is.
So just to explain real quick, the Red Dragon is the monster that ended up
eating
eating Fallon,
Yeah.
the sister that they're going back to save.
Right.
So they know they have to face this red dragon when they go back in, which is on floor 5, I believe.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Right.
So
Yes.
And they have to get there before the dragon digests
Yes.
Fallon because the dragon
It takes time.
has
to
like a 3 month
Yeah.
or something. I forgot.
And
how much.
also a big thing in this dungeon is you don't really die.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes.
You can be revived. Your body is chained. Your soul's chained to your body.
Right.
So that's why they're not really like rushing right away to go save. I mean, they're rushing, but it's like,
they got time.
yeah,
They
they
got
got
time.
time.
Even
yes.
if you're like torn apart, like you're as long as you get the pieces of your
Yeah.
body together, you can
Yes.
still form, which is crazy to me.
And
It
which
is.
is
It is.
kind of weird because like usually I don't like anime that
You don't
should
die?
just be revived so easily, you know,
Mhm.
or like you
There's
know
no
you can
consequences.
just bring exactly.
Yeah.
But in this anime, I feel like it I don't know. I just feel like it made sense.
You know why? You know why? Because it made it the lore.
They explained it.
Yeah, it wasn't like just randomly you brought somebody alive. Like they
Right.
made it the lore, you know, and it makes sense. Kind of, they don't even really explain why you don't die, but it's. I guess my guess is
Well,
because. Did
well-
they explain why you don't die?
They kind of
Yeah,
do.
your soul doesn't leave your body.
Well, it's
did
because
they-
of the magic
It's
in
because
the
of
is the
yeah.
labyrinth or the dungeon.
But why? Because that old philosopher guy is down there to understand why that is.
Right.
Do you have any guesses why? Because I have a guess. The Mad Mage
Right.
wants to keep everything. Everything in the dungeon belongs to the king, and the Mad Mage wants
Right.
to keep it.
That's
my theory
that's
is
what I
like,
got from it
The
too.
magic keeps you alive because you belong to the king now. Is what I thought.
Well, not just that, but I think he wants, like he said it himself. He's looking for the king. Like that's his goal is to find. That's why the dragon's roaming around the dungeon trying to find the king. I think he's trying to find his body so he can bring his soul back and bring back the king.
Maybe so.
So I mean, that's what I got from it.
Yeah.
But little does he know that the king is already like fucking dust.
Yeah. You know that, yeah.
He'll be pissed.
What I really liked about it was the characters. I loved the party. I mean, I grew to love them while they shared their meals.
Yeah.
I even liked how they added the little cat girl, Itsuki, whatever her name was.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
I didn't like her at all when he got added in because I wanted it to be Chill Chuck, the smart talking douche that's actually 30. I love Marcel, who's like always gets the shit end of the stick in every single thing that happens, and I loved it so much because you don't see a lot of girls get that shit end of the stick and then like be okay.
Yeah.
Lyle's deadpan comedy like had me laughing so much because he's just so like focused on one thing. And Senshi, he was like kind of the straight man, but also like he just loved cooking. I love the party. That has so much character.
Yeah.
That's a guy. I gave it a perfect character score in this because I loved it. Even the other ones they showed like Kabru
Huh.
and Shuro, and even Namari's bitch ass who left because she wanted money. I loved all the characters so much. Not Kenshin. Jeff, what'd you love about that?
Funny wasn't in here. It's okay.
I love that this anime had a goal from episode 1.
you fucking guys. All right.
They did have a goal.
I mean, yeah. What doesn't have a goal in the first fucking?
No, one thing that I did like about this anime is that although it did start off with them having to go find their sister, like you also have a secondary goal of wanting to know, like more about this dungeon.
Who's the main bad guy? We don't know. Till later.
Yeah. So and you want to know, and like the story ends up not only are they trying to save their sister, but they're also trying to
Not starve.
kill the mage, and everyone's you're gonna end up finding out what everyone's motives are. You know?
Yeah.
They do meet some other adventurers when they go in. All of them they've seemed to have made friends with, but they don't all. It doesn't all feel like it doesn't seem like all their motives will eventually line up with each other.
Right.
So
Kabru's definitely a sneaky guy.
He-
He's a black guy.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Wait,
so
what?
He's black.
I guess all in all, I'd say like I guess the characters is what that kind of boils down to.
Dudes, when did y'all fall in love with the anime? Like what? Because when I fell in love was whenever they found the snails in the armor. Like that scene of him fighting the snail in the armor and the animation kind of changing and Trigger's style that they do a lot. It felt like really Kill la Kill to me right there in that fight. And from that moment, dude, I fell in love with it. It was like episode maybe 6 or 7. I fell in love with it, man. I love the journey they went on. I don't know.
Did you already say what you liked about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You copied me.
So I'm kind of gonna veer off to something that I didn't like in the beginning of it.
So gripes?
No, I mean like because you're asking the question of when did we fall in love with it, and it's kind of weird. My answer has both something I hate, when I loved it, but also why I didn't love it in the beginning, because it was real like, hey, let's go down the floor, kill some monsters, eat them, show you a recipe, move on, have some antics. Next episode, hey, until episode like 12 or 13, when they actually get to like the heart of the story, like, oh, there's a red dragon. Why is it roaming around? Because the Mad Mage made it, do this to find the king. And then you get Marcial's backstory. Oh, why is Fallon so special? It's because, oh, she saw ghosts when she was a kid. From the very beginning, she's always been in tune with spirits. There's spirits everywhere in this old kingdom. And they really get into, like, past that painting episode where he goes into the painting in the past. That's when it really gets good as far as story-wise, action. Like, fucking, they almost died from the dragon, technically. Chilchuck kind of comes out of his shell and becomes braver. That's really when you really get to see their character.
So
their
what's the
characters
problem?
really. No, okay.
Where the story develops, and
That's when I loved it. Is 12, 13. That's the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
The gripe was the beginning for me. Like, it was kind of like slice of lifey recipe, eat, haha, laugh about something delicious in dungeon. Next episode, recipe, kill this monster. Delicious in dungeon. Like, I didn't really care for that until like the 12 and 13. That's when it really everything came together.
what I would just say is that like those. So not only are you meeting, different characters and different
Right.
monsters at that point, but you're also getting to know a little bit more and more about the dungeon each entire
A
episode.
lot
so
of lore every single
so
time we
it's
watch.
it's setting
Well,
up. It's setting
important.
up. It's setting
I
up
mean-
the rest of the anime.
Yeah, it's important, dude.
Oh,
that-
not until
that
like
part
12, 13. That's
Well,
what. That's
you need those episodes before 12 and 13
Well,
to kind of.
They
be
just
able to-
introduce you to monsters. That's,
I thought the anime had a really good balance of like fun cutesiness and like slice of lifey, but also get serious. Like when they brought Fallon back alive, and then like
Right, that was 12,
my heart
13.
hurt when she got changed to a chimera.
Yeah.
I felt like Nina
right.
from Fullmetal Alchemist. Like, no, dude. And they're talking about how they can't change her back.
Yeah,
I was like,
I thought
fuck,
what was the
dude.
point of all
Were,
this?
were you
Yeah.
also kind of mad at
Before.
Marcel?
Nah,
For what?
it wasn't her fault.
Using dark magic.
It wasn't her fault,
Yeah.
dude. It was the Mad Mage's
No.
fault.
I was happy they brought her back, but when she got changed is when I was just upset. I wasn't.
I
mad
don't know, dude.
at
I
myself.
was thinking like, dude, there had to have been another way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they needed calories, where else were they going to get all that meat?
She was
from?
fully digested. I just really liked. They took some chances in this anime.
They
Like,
did.
I've never seen like them revive a body like that and then it'd be okay. And of course, it didn't stay okay. So.
But I like that premise of, hey, you can't just bring a body back. If it's completely
Yeah, me too.
deteriorated, you have to find every single
too.
bone. You have to put it together perfectly, and you need a certain amount of energy, which is calories. Calories is energy. I mean, at the end of the day, that's
I
what
fuck
it is. It's scientific.
No, I fuck with it. Yeah.
It was like fucking, like you said, Fullmetal Alchemist kind of shit. Like give and take. You can't give this without taking this.
I like it a lot.
I liked it. Yeah. But I liked the first 12 to 11 episodes.
The last 11, 12 episodes.
No, I loved the last 12, 11, because that's when you get
Okay.
Black
okay.
Guy with his motives and his history, and you get Shuro with his like, dude, you're an Easterner, but then you brought like fucking an ogre and 2-3 ninjas with you. Like, that was sick as fuck. I was like, who are these people?
All right.
I don't know. That's
Did you guys have any gripes?
Yeah, I had one.
get it, Queen.
Okay, so y'all remember the orcs, right?
Yeah,
You remember how the orcs were like killing everybody in that little tavern down there?
yeah.
Except
Like-
for Senshi.
Except for Senshi, and they saved Senshi, brought in the people, let them live in the little cage for a minute, and then they ended up cooking with them. And shared a big meal with the orcs. I hated that. Because the orcs are presented as ferocious killers,
Right.
and they sat down to have a meal. It just felt it felt a little like, what was the point of them killing that whole group of people if they're just going to be nice in the end? It felt a little
Because
strange. to
Senshi
me.
already established that relationship there.
And I don't think
Fine.
all those humans were like,
Okay,
okay. He even said it. Most of these people are hiding from the above town anyways. Like, they're
Okay.
down there for a reason. They're like thieves,
okay,
killers.
fine. What about his sister that led the other tribal faction? And then they're about to
Oh, yeah.
kill them immediately until they
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we know your brother."
I
Yeah,
do know my brother.
yeah, they smell like him. So quick, they changed from murderous intent
Yeah.
to just becoming really cool friends. And I was like,
They weren't really cool friends because, like, they
they ate a
still
meal together.
And she did heal them
to stay
too.
alive.
She did heal them with like that nasty goop.
It just that's literally my only gripe. It
Yeah.
just came across as like kind of like a tone shift of like what they were just killing people and now they're eating a meal.
I think it was more or less like a misunderstanding. Like
Fine.
the people above,
Fine.
like Marcio automatically thought, oh, they're orcs. They're gonna they're just
It was
monsters.
like a
and-
little racist thing, yeah.
Right, but
They're
really,
yeah.
we were driven here by the humans. We used to live above ground like everybody else, but that's a common theme. I think you see that the humans and the elves are kind of like the elitist like groups of races that drive the dwarves. They think dwarves are lesser, and so are orcs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you noticed that. And even halflings, they think halflings are fucking lesser.
Half foot.
Whatever.
They're called
hobbits.
half-foot.
Call them fucking hobbits.
In English, they're called half.
They're hobbits. All right.
Halfling.
They're hobbits.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that was my only little gripe, guys. Yeah, gripes.
I already said it. I think
Okay.
like the first is too slice of lifey for me. You know.
That's fair.
I don't mind that. Like the recipes is it's called Delicious in Dungeon, so
Yeah.
I can't have that huge of a gripe with it. But it's just they didn't really get deep into the lore and all that and all the action until maybe the Undine episode, like 11 or 12,
Yeah,
something like
Undine,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Other than that, I loved it.
I mean, so
It's no Kenshin. But
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call this a gripe, but like the whole, I mean, it's called Delicious in a Dungeon, but I wouldn't say that the whole meal prep and everything like that was like my biggest, my biggest thing. I'm not, when I go to anime, I'm not looking for.
you don't like Food Wars?
Look at these meals they're making. Like it's not.
I'm gonna pick Food Wars next. You're gonna hate it.
That's not what I go look to anime for. So I mean that would be the only thing that I would say.
That's more of a preference thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I enjoyed the time that they spent, hunting down the material for all these
Yeah.
foods, and then kind of like the lore and the reason why they put this with that and stuff
The
like that.
little misadventures they get into.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
with the armor
Yeah.
thing.
I thought the frog thing was
Oh,
fucking. The frog thing was funny as fuck.
That's
Like
cool.
when they had
the-
to, yeah,
I would say like the mandrake,
Okay, yeah.
trying to get a dog, and then stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So-
funny.
Do you have any favorite meals?
I would go with the sherbet, sorbet.
Yeah, sorbet. Yeah.
Sorbet,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there you
How
go.
they had to
Sorbet.
kill the ghosts with the holy water.
Yeah, that was cool.
That one looked. Not gonna
It looked
lie,
good.
that looked like pretty tasty.
And he
Everything
used
looked
the,
tasty,
He used the
guys.
jewel bug to like give it the colors and everything.
I really like the Baromet's balut, which is like one of the last that sheep that grew out of the plant,
Oh yeah.
and they cut it and they ate lamb. That looked really good. I love lamb, bro. That should look good.
I liked
Legacy.
the kelpie hot. No, it wasn't a hot pot. It was more like a grilling thing. Like they sliced up the kelpie in like different sections, meats like hindquarter, all that stuff, and then kind of grilled the kelpie seaweed on top and everything. And just the overall like, should we eat humanoids? Like I thought that was fucking funny. Like,
Yeah.
where's the limit? Because they have faces.
I feel this is gonna be a thing later on. I feel like they're gonna have to come to a crossroads where they have to eat a humanoid to survive.
Well, they already have technically.
Kind of the eggs from
The
from
fishmen,
fish-
yeah, they
eggs,
basically they hate babies.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
All right, Dev. You wanna?
Favorite character, guys?
I mean, it's Senshi. Senshi. What am I saying? Senshi. Love Senshi.
I like what's the black guy's that kid?
Kabru.
I like Kabru, dude. I know he's gonna. I don't want to say he's gonna be a bad guy,
He's a cool guy.
but he's the fact that the fact
dies
that
a lot, though.
well that's a bad thing. But the fact that he understood, hey, we're here to save this woman, and he straight up said, cha cha cha, like just like killed her. He's like, we gotta kill her, and just
He's ready
stabbed
to
her in the
fight.
neck.
He's
Bro.
ready to fight. He's a fighter.
But he understands the stakes, and I appreciate
He's
that.
just a tactical guy.
Yeah.
Like chess playing fighter. I like
Yeah,
it.
he understands. And his motives aren't that bad. I appreciate his motives. He doesn't want the dungeon to get so out of control to where it doesn't kill people on top, and that's his backstory.
But also like he wants to be the one to kill the
I
Mad
like-
Mage.
I like that.
So like
He's gonna be a rival.
yeah. So in the end, like he's not gonna want Laos to be able to be the one to kill him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So
Season
what,
2.
like what will he do to make
get
sure
there.
that didn't
Yeah,
happen?
yeah.
You know.
Stop him from getting the last blow.
Bro.
Season 2 to be season 3.
Bro. No.
So, but mine would probably be Kabru also.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Hmm.
There's so much about his character that I
Blacks up.
kind of want to know.
Okay.
Blacks
So
up.
Dude, who else saw Senshi's, like, real quick, who else saw Senshi's backstory coming? Like, he's been in there since the beginning, bro.
I saw it coming for sure.
Like, that's crazy to me.
Not necessarily that, but I just knew he'd been eating monsters for like I didn't know how long, but yeah.
That was
Definitely
crazy.
eating
As a
monsters.
kid. Like, he's a dwarf, so imagine as a kid.
Yeah.
That's like hundreds of years. Yeah. All right.
let's get into ratings, guys. The one we have all been waiting for. Should you watch it? Should you not watch it?
Mm,
Let's sweep it this way.
Okay.
I'll give it an 8.
Okay. All right.
This
Fair.
it was a good anime. It took me, I think, a week, maybe less, to watch 24 episodes.
Wow.
So with all the extra time, I was able to finish Freerun and almost.
Oh, you finished it? Good.
Yeah, almost Apothecary Diaries. So
That's why he gets more points because you finish other stuff.
So I mean, yeah, I would give it an 8. It's fun all the way through. There's some good action moments in it. Also, the characters are amazing. It's just, I think when you get past like the point that Paul was talking about, 11 and 12, you're kind of looking to the next episode.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you kind of don't want to take a break because you want to know kind of what happens next.
For sure. Definitely. Craig?
Oh, you can go.
Okay. I am teetering on an 8. If it's not an 8, it's definitely like a 7.8, 7.9. You know, if it was just a slog kind of to get to to that 10,
I think I
11.
should run 8.5.
Me?
No,
You're
me.
set 8.5?
Yeah, me.
Is that,
Okay.
is that set in stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, 7.9. Like it's almost an 8. If it would have like got to the serious parts earlier, like episode 9 or 10, I would have been fine with that.
Okay.
I'd give it an 8.
I don't like it.
That's okay.
I'll give it a 9.6.
What the fuck?
9.6.
Seriously?
I really, really enjoyed it. From the
Wow.
characters, I loved
I
every
think that's
single
your
one.
fucking stomach talking.
From the setting, that was great.
Wow.
They built a world around this dungeon and lore. Inside the dungeon, not even outside the dungeon.
They
Inside,
did.
there was
They did.
Easter
They
eggs
did.
outside the dungeon. They built a lore inside the dungeon. The
crazy.
plot I thought was, look, the show's called Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah.
I was expecting a show about them just eating monsters.
Yeah.
I've been avoiding it on Netflix. I thought it was a show about them
Right.
eating monsters. And since this was airing, I kept seeing it on the top of the leaderboard of weekly shows. I'm like, what is this show about about eating
It's fantasy
monsters?
food wars.
Dude, I was pleasantly surprised at the story they gave this thing, man.
Me too.
Like, it had so much more than just cooking, and the cooking, I love the cooking in it. So that added to it. So I was super happy about not just getting food.
This is a preference, by the way.
Sure, that's why I gave it a 9.6.
That's fine.
Preferentially.
It's crazy though.
And yeah, I loved the whole thing throughout and throughout.
That's
I would
crazy.
recommend to watch it. I may rewatch it again in the future because I just like the cooking so much.
That's not good.
I love it. I love it.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Cincinnati People. You've heard our ratings.
You heard his stomach.
Go watch this thing. It's worth the watch, definitely.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you guys next time. We're out.